Okay, I'm just hopping on a couple minutes early before we get started, just to make sure everything is set up and ready to go. Sorry, there's a glare behind the window. I have the curtains closed, but still a little bit light. And that burns with the light. Okay. Let me see. Board. See, I don't know. And one more minute and we'll get started here. At 12 o'clock. So thank you for joining me. Everyone having a good day so far? It's gonna be beautiful out today. Oh, right. It's 12 o'clock. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to day 3 of the Uplevel Your Cooking 5-day challenge. I'm so glad you're here. This is the second live of 3. The next one will be Friday at 12 o'clock. As you know, on Monday, this past Monday, I did my first live and it didn't record on my phone. So I switched to a laptop. It's a little bit different setup, but it's recording and it's working. So I hope you can see what I'm doing here as best as you can. It's a little, I like the phone because it's a little bit more maneuverable, but we'll do what we can with what we have. And I'm just happy I can have something. So I can't complain. Um, so as a reminder, if you have any questions, put those in the Q&A. And if you're on here live, say hi in the chat and let me know where you're from. I'd love to hear from you. So go ahead, you can go ahead and ask a question anytime. I'll try to check those as much as possible. And at the end, we can take some questions as well. And I'm going to try to keep this to 45 minutes or less. I don't think it'll be 45 minutes, probably way less than that. So let's get started for today's lesson. And today is all about working smarter, not harder. So who doesn't want more of that in the kitchen? And let's get real for a second. We all have those days when, you know the ones. We all do. You're tired, everyone's hungry, and suddenly takeout or cereal for dinner sounds real good. I know, I've been there myself. And that's where freezer meals or batch cooking comes in and totally saves the day. You cook once and eat 2, 3, or even 4 times. Sounds good to me. You reduce food waste because you're planning ahead and using everything intentionally. You save money big time because you're not doing last minute drive-through or wasting ingredients. And maybe most importantly, You're always got something homemade and comforting, just waiting in the freezer, ready to be pulled out on a busy night. So this is honestly one of the best ways to stretch that quality beef you stocked up on. You're not just making meals, you're building a backup plan for your future. And trust me, future you is going to be so grateful. So today we're going to prep a hearty beef stew, but here's the twist. We're not cooking it. We're assembling all the fresh ingredients into a freezer bake that's ready to go when we need it. This is going to be delicious, simple, and a total game changer. So you're ready to change up your weeknight routine? Let's do it. So we're going to, as I said, we're going to do the slow cooker beef stew. And first, I've got my beef stew right here. It's all cut up already. So if you're doing a chuck roast, instead of a beef stew, you'll have to cut that up into 1 to 2 inch cubes beforehand. This I don't have to worry about because it's stew meat, already packaged and ready to assemble. I also have, you can see, I labeled my 2-gallon size freezer bag. I already have flour in it. I'm using almond flour in it. You can use just regular flour. And I'm going to put the beef stew in this. So I've got 2 pounds here. I'm going to go ahead with my scissors in a minute so you can see. It's right inside. I have it over, and I'm still dripping, but I have this in a bowl just so I can prevent drippings. For easier cleanup. And there we go. That's easy peasy. So all my stew meat is right in there in the package. That's our first here. So that's our first ingredient. And then we've got carrots. I cut up some carrots already. I'm going to cut up 1 more. So for 3 carrots. And then you can even do it a little bit easier than that and save yourself even more time. You can get the pre-cut carrots. Let me scramble. Let me move this here. Just put it up into slices up, dime size or nickel size pieces or medallions, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Good. So I'm going to add this along with the other carrots I already got cut up and add this into the bag. And then we've got potatoes. I've already got 2 cut up. I'm going to cut 1 more. I have it in water just to help prevent bruising. So that's why I have it that way. I'm just going to kind of dice this up, not too small. Just bigger chunks. I'm going to add that to my bag, along with the other potatoes. Let me try this out. too. I'm gonna put that in there. All right. So we got the carrots, the potatoes. Next is the celery stalks. I've got some celery stalks already cut up. We'll just finish cutting the last one. If you have more than one celery stalk, I usually cut up a couple right at the same time to get them paired up and two at once. That in the bag. There's any questions? Just making sure I don't miss anything. Oh, great. And then we have an onion chopped. There we go. Let's see. Oh, garlic. I've got my garlic press again. Always handy to have this on hand because I'm always using the garlic for recipes. Hold on. Rinse my hands off quick. Okay. Then we have 3 cups of bone broth or beef broth. I actually make my own homemade beef broth with our soup bones. So if you're ever wanting to make your own, I have a recipe on our blog at strengthlessfamilyfarm.com to make your own. So I love it. It's just really handy. I make a lot of it and I use it for so many things. Pour that in. Move this up now that we've got everything chopped up. And then we're going to do the diced tomatoes and the tomato paste. So I actually do more tomato paste than the recipe always calls for. So you use more or less of what you need, but I usually use it all up. And just leave for the diced tomatoes, just leave the juice in there. You don't have to drain it. Then we got salt and pepper. So 1 to 2 teaspoons each, depending on your liking. And some dried thyme and some dried rosemary. So I just kind of got it mixed up together. I'm gonna add that. One bay leaf. And then we already had the flour in. That was optional, so you don't have to use the flour if you don't want to use any. And the frozen peas, once we're ready to cook this up, we'll add the peas to it. So we're going to freeze it first, and then in the future, when I'm ready to use this, I'll add the peas if I want. I don't even think that might be optional too. You might not have to have that. So that's it. you've got your meal in a bag right here. So try to get the air out of it as much as I can and seal it. I'll keep working on that. So that's it. That is really simple. You've got everything dumped in this bag. Put it in the freezer and it's ready to take out on a really busy night and throw it in the slow cooker. And there it is. So I hope this helped. I hope this was easy and something you can do for yourself as well. Do some freezer meals or batch cooking, and so you can take it out whenever you can. Let's see if there's any questions. I don't see anything in the questions or chat. Okay. So if there are no more questions, I just want to say thank you again for joining me today. Thank you for watching this. I'll send the replay out later today, and I'll have a day 4 recording for tomorrow. And I think that's it. So I appreciate it so much and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.